Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe Barber. It's a beautiful day here, San Antonio, Texas. It is 52 degrees and the time is 9:47. We're like February 7th or 8th or something like that. I always forget the days. But anyways, started my morning off good. Had some issues, but I just, get through them. A lot of times I got to learn to let go of things, like take a deep breath in and just let it out. You got bad drivers, you got people that have issues. A lot of people, we don't know how to separate ourselves from emotion. And I think a lot of times we're emotionally driven people. That's why we excel at sports, because we try to turn that, that pain into something, which is great. I'm not saying that that's bad. You want to release pain. You never want to just hold it in. But I think there's different ways of dealing with that. Breathing techniques help. I think a lot of times your body needs a specific amount of air in order for all your muscles to work and things to get functioning right. But anyway, this video, I'm driving to my house real quick. I'm gonna make it quick. This video is about dealing with cycles in your life. It's either and I remember this when I was going to church, man. It was very profound when I heard it. It's like either you're in a storm, you're going into a storm, or you're in a storm, or you're coming out of one. And that's where the growth happens. You're never going to be at a point where you're just like, oh man, life is good, no problems, no nothing. It's just like you're always going to be having to deal with something. And once I learned that, man, I was like, yeah. Because a lot of times what happens with us is we tend to believe that we'll get to a comfortable position, right? Where we get to a level of being just comfortable, and it's like, oh man, good, man, I don't have to stress about nothing anymore. Every time you level up, man, you're gonna have stress. You're gonna have all types of stuff happen, and it's dealing with it. So I want to tell you from experience that I've grown a lot, tremendously, from where I began in my journey. Like I said, you can watch a lot of my videos that I have on YouTube and how I would speak, the level of confidence, the level of knowledge, the level of understanding, and understanding myself. But the main thing that I want to talk about is really that we're always in a cycle. It's like, are you in the beginning of this next level, and then you come to an end, and guess what? You level up, and it's continuously like that. And that's how it is, and that's how I see myself, and that's how I see my life. There's a lot of things that I cannot control. There's a lot of things that I feel, that I think. I have a lot of dialogue with a lot of my clients. We talk about, different things. Like right now, I could tell you yesterday I had a great conversation with one of my clients. We're talking about how money is being generated now. You got people making millions of dollars off of YouTube. You got people making millions of dollars off of Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. That's a new way. That's like a new job. What is normal to a lot of the young, because a lot of young people grew up with the internet. Like, they just grew up and a phone was in their face their whole life. So that's normal to them. To us, a lot of people that, from the 80s and older, we grew up blue collar worker type people. Like, you work for a company, you take pride, you have, health benefits, and that's it. That's all we know. And I know that there's kids out there making millions of dollars off of, just doing dumb stuff, like, and it's crazy because there's a video that, man, I wish I could post it. I don't know how to do all the editing and all that, but there's a guy that was talking about that. It's like, man, TikTok was created in China, and in China, what they do is they don't reward the stupidest people with fame. They reward the most advanced people that are, engineers, people that are coming up with new ideas, people that are creating solutions. Those are the people that have the most followers. Those are the people that have the most clout, if you want to say that. And here in America, we don't do that. We do the opposite. So it's a form of warfare against our people because, yeah, we make stupid people famous, and we make people that don't have talent famous, and they make the most money. So majority of our kids are growing up thinking they have to be that kind of person. That's like their blue collar. What was blue collar to us, that's their blue collar to them. It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to work at I don't want to work. I want to get paid for being dumb, or I want to get paid for this character that I play in YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So we talk about those kind of things, right? And I'm not knocking it, because you can make money And it's a battle, right? We're in a war spiritually, where we're trying to lead people to be righteous and do what's right, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And man, I feel like we're losing the war. I really do, but I know we're not. And it is one of those things too where you have to kind of hold yourself accountable. And that's why I preach that so much, because it's nobody's fault. We can't say, oh, TikTok made me do it, or Instagram made me do it, or whatever. We compare our lives to other people, not knowing what those people did to get to the situation that they're at. We don't always go based on facts. We go based on what was fed to us. And when we say we research stuff, we really not, doing it like that. But for me, it's a spiritual journey that I'm on right now, where I want to understand who I am. I want to understand the habits that I have, my training of thought, what triggers a lot of my pain, what triggers a lot of my concerns with life, right? But the main thing is I don't want to dwell on that and just be like, oh man, look, that's not right. That's not right. These people are not doing it, whatever. For me, it's like, you know what? I focus on doing what I can do, how I can help people, how I can make a difference. And my legacy is going to be embedded into this, in this universe is my mission. And I got to stick to that mission, man. And I'm very, also, I want to talk about one of the people that I was following, man, that I had just started following less than a year ago, is Bob Proctor. And he passed away. I think he was 88 years old, something like that. And it bothered me because I was like, man, that was somebody that we needed. We needed somebody like him. He had so much history. He had so much, like, you could look him up and man, he's been around for so long. And what he was preaching and what he was teaching and what he lived out changed thousands of people's lives. And I feel like the impact that he's had, that's the kind of impact I want to have. Not for that, not for nothing, but it's more like what I want to say is like, I want to impact barbers that way. I want to be able to guide people and show them that, hey man, I came from nothing, bro. I'm from the bottom. And changing your mindset, your paradigm, and reading and learning and studying and staying away from social media. And what I mean by social media, I know so many people that live through social media and they live their whole life through social media, which is their prerogative. They can do what they want. But at the same time, what benefits one person will not benefit the next. And sometimes social media becomes a drug and we don't even know what we're doing, and we're just doing it because it becomes one of the habits. Like as soon as we wake up, oh man, let me post that I'm awake. Oh, let me post my kid. Oh, let me post. And we don't know what the effects of that are. Like, imagine raising your baby and always having a camera on his face, like in his face, like that's normal to him. I always think of the Truman Show. But it's those little things, man. And I know I'm veering off from what the point was, but I have those kind of conversations with my clientele, and it gets me to thinking. And it's like, man, I'm very interested in how other people view the world. I'm very interested in knowing how other people perceive what success is, what happiness, what joy is, what peace is to them. I often think like, man, if I had this big house and I had these nice cars and I had this, all this money in the bank, I'll be good. And I know one of my friend, Rick Morin, he posted something on Facebook yesterday. It's like, man, if money wasn't an object, what would you be doing? And I was thinking like, man, what would I want to do? So I have this idea where I have something, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it's something that I would like to interact with other people, questioning other people, because I do have a genuine desire of understanding how people view the world. We all come from different backgrounds. What works for people in the North doesn't work for people in the South. What works for people in the West Coast doesn't work for people in the East Coast. It's just the way we were raised, our culture, our standards, the hardships, the weather. Like, I think about a lot of stuff that also kind of changes things, because if you're in an atmosphere where it's always snowing and you don't know how to adapt to the snow, or you're not one of those kind of people that is always in the snow, I feel like you're constantly inside, and you could live your life indoors like 90% of the time. And it's like here in the South, we always have good weather. The only thing we deal with is like the heat. Sometimes it gets really hot, but we adapt to that. And I feel like a lot of us are always outdoors. A lot of us get together, we ride bikes, we play sports, we're playing basketball constantly. Like, you could, go to parks, take your dogs out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we do that, in other places they don't do. So we have a different way of bonding. We have a different background of everything. So that those are the things that I think of when we start talking about culture, and we start talking about how people think, how they perceive things. But also that ties into what I was talking about with how we are always in a cycle of learning, and we're always growing, and people come into your life to open these doors, and sometimes they open the door and some people don't want to walk in because it's very uncomfortable. And I know I have friends that are very comfortable. They're very like just set in their ways, and it's like, hey, you know what, I pay my mortgage, I pay my insurance, I'm good, I got a little bit of cash left over, I save. They live for the weekends, they go to the weekends partying and do, and that, like I said, if that's their life, that's what they want, hey man, more power to you. But for me, I'm on a higher frequency where I want to produce results, not only for myself, not only for my family, not only for those that I love, but to make an impact on our community, because I feel barbers and stylists alike, I feel like we can have a big impact on people. But I have to reach the barbers, I have to teach the barbers in order for them to understand the impact that we can have. And it also connects to right now, right? People that are barbers are all getting into suites, and it's like a one-on-one, it's private, and I'm like, man, but what people don't understand, and what doesn't connect in my brain is this: in a barbershop, the atmosphere of sharpening each other up and being around other barbers, it helps you so much, and it helps other people, it connects people. It's like, I don't want that to be lost. I want barbershops to be that place where you can go, share your thoughts, share your feelings, interact, of course, with limitations, be respectful, but have healthy conversation. And it's like, I think about it like you can work in your house, like have a workout gym and just work by yourself and just do what you want to do. And I feel like sometimes that's good. But sometimes when you're at the gym and you're working on something, and you see somebody else working out, and you're like, oh man, that's a good workout. What is he doing? You go talk to him and ask him, hey man, why are you doing that workout? Oh man, I had an injury. This is what I do to build up that muscle so I don't have these pains and blah, 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 blah. So you learn something new, and then vice versa, he can learn something off of you. It's the same thing in the barber world, man. Sometimes we need mentorship. Sometimes we need people to kind of guide us so you can see their life, especially when it's someone older or someone that's younger. You see what they're doing. Hey, man, try to steer them the right way. I think barbershops, I think we're big on that. And for me, I know that I cut a lot of kids that don't have dads, a lot of kids that have bad relationships with their fathers, or they're in prison or whatever. So I turn into Uncle Joe for a lot of these young kids, and I don't mind being that, because I want to see these kids be successful. I want them to grow. I want them to understand that somebody loves them. I don't have to love these kids because they pay me. I love these kids because they're humans and they have potential to do something, and God put them on this earth for a reason. Now our job is to find our reason and then, go hard with it. So it's always about the mission. And I think sometimes we forget that. And that's why like these whole things with suites and cutting by yourself and being private, I'm like against that. I understand it. I used to cut here at my house by myself, but I love the feeling of being in a barbershop and the energy that I feed off of other people, the good and the bad, because you need growth. Bad things happen so you can grow and you learn. It doesn't mean you have to stick around when it gets bad. Like, yeah, man, if it's a bad environment and it's very toxic, then yeah, you need to get the hell out of there. But the fact is that, man, it's like the interaction of people. I think we interact too much on social media, and we can live whatever fake life we want to live, and not connect spiritually, not connect in a sense where we really know the truth. We just embrace the fake part of our lives. And I mean, like I said, it's the beginning of something, you're in the middle of something, or you're at the end of something, and you're always evolving, you're always growing. And I think we need to understand that, and that all ties back into like being around customers, being around other people, and taking your job serious, man. Being a barber is not just cutting hair. Like, cutting hair is a byproduct of the passion that we have for helping people. I always say that we're not in the hair industry, we're not in the hair business, we're in the people business. And the more you understand people, the better you can be at your job, and you can sustain a lot more clientele. I feel we could live a very prosperous life, not only financially, but spiritually, health-wise, mentally. And I think that's a big big thing that we're dealing with in this country is because a lot of us live through social media. A lot of us live through the validation of other people. We want people to envy us. We want people to clap for us. We want people to love us for being in shape or being this or being that. And I'm cool with it, but I'm saying you need to love yourself and don't try to be someone you're not to get love from somebody. Like, love yourself enough to know that, man, you know what? If these people don't love me, it's cool. And that's my life. I've gone through that, man, where I've got to experience that, where, I've been in magazines, I've been interviewed, I've been on TV, I've done commercials with the Spurs, I've done commercials with the New York Knicks, I've done, New York Rangers, I've done all this stuff, which is great. I got a little, piece of stardom, a little 5 minutes of it, right? And people would recognize me and all that kind of stuff, which is great. But then I saw like, yeah, man, that's not what I want. That doesn't drive me. That kind of pushed me away from me doing what I was doing, because I was like, yeah, man, people perceive you to be this person, like you just have all these answers, and it's like, man, I don't have answers. I just do what I do because I love it. And then, yeah, I could perceive having this, like fake life. I can go buy a new car and get my teeth whitened, get tattoos on my face, and be like everybody else. But I'm like, I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. But I first need to find out who I am and why I'm here. So that goes back to the whole thing of understanding purpose, holding yourself accountable, and just doing the best that you can for yourself. And then you can start making a difference in other people's lives and leaving a legacy behind. But we're always in a cycle, man. It's always, like I said, you're going into something, you're in the middle of something, or you're coming out of something. And those things are what helps you to grow your patience, to grow your understanding, to grow your strength. And it's never comfortable, man. You're always uncomfortable, and you're always working in a sense of the unknown of, man, I don't know. I've never been in this position before. So you don't know, and you get kind of nervous. You get kind of anxious. You get kind of like worried about, man, what's the future hold? But if you focus on the positive and you say, you know what, man, I welcome the future. I welcome what's coming. And you kind of mentally build yourself up to like where you want to go. You have a game plan, and you move forward every day. You can face obstacles and be like, you know what, it's all good because I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing this for. And you just push forward, man. So if anything that you learned today, if you watch this whole video, I want to tell you, thank you, man. Thank you so much, because my job on this earth is to make a difference in people's lives. I do it daily by cutting hair, and I love to do artwork. I wish I could just, honestly, I wish I could just be a tattoo artist and just do artwork all day and just work and be creative. But right now, the journey that I'm on and the journey that God put me on is being a barber. So I'm going to be the best barber instructor once I open my school. I'm going to strive to make a difference. Not only do I want to open up a few schools, but I want to be able to reach people in a way that hasn't been done before, in a spiritual way, through the barber industry. So that's my mission, and that's what I'm striving to do. So I've been growing a lot. I've been reading a lot. I've been studying a lot. I've been exposed to a lot of things in my life. And that's what makes my story so powerful. But I feel like there's so much more that's going to happen and that God has planned for me. So I embrace that. I've had a lot of heartache. I've had a lot of pain. I've struggled. I've made mistakes. I've done a lot of people wrong in the past. And I feel like I paid the price for that. I feel like my karma is paid. And I just want to move forward by doing good things and do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I don't want to lie, not even a little bit. Like, I don't want nothing to do with negativity like that. Like, I don't want that. I really want to help people, and I want people to know that whatever you set your mind to do, you can do it. If you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in your real life. So if anything, just know that you can do that. So, all right, man. Well, I think I spoke enough. Hopefully, some of you guys picked up on some of these gems, and hopefully it marinates in your life, and you live a righteous life, man. Just live a righteous life, and I wish the best for you, man. Y'all stay blessed and y'all stay faded.